Well, so before we even get the video started, we've already ran into some trouble. Just hit something in the road, some animal or something, so let's just check it out, see what just happened. Dang, we done messed up the day. Before we even get the video started, before the show even started, before the car rally even started, we're already down for the count.
42 degrees auto lifestyle. Live your wildest dreams.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad y'all are here. I know it's been a while. I apologize. We had a lot going on in the background, but we're back today, and we're gonna do a little reformatting of the channel. So, one of the videos that I saw that y'all liked the most was what to expect when buying a used Jeep. So that's kind of how we're going to structure the channel going forward. We're going to do what to expect with different vehicles of the channel. And today, of course, you got to start with the vehicle that's already on the channel, and that's the Audi. And before this, you just saw what happened, so stay tuned. So the OG subscribers of the channel know that we've had this Audi S5 for quite some time. We purchased it in 2018. And so the first thing you need to know about when purchasing a 2010 Audi S5 is everyone wants to know, how much did it cost? How much did it cost? So back in 2018, when I bought it, I paid 10 grand for it. I paid $10,000 for it, plus a trip to Colorado, because that's where it was located. I bought it from this guy who had like a nice collection of cars. Most of them were like AMGs, but he had this one. I saw it on Craigslist. I don't know how. He doesn't even know how I found it, but I found it. Took a trip out to Colorado one day. He actually took me back to his house, which I was kind of sketch because when I walked in, had a whole bunch of guns and whatnot. But anyway, they were real nice people. Met him and his wife. He showed me his car collection, showed his barn, all kinds of stuff. And then got the car, drove it back. Took 3 days to get back to Atlanta. Fun trip. But yeah, so paid 10 grand for the car, and then registration, things like that. Total came to around almost 11,000. So that's the purchase price of the vehicle. Owning this car, I've had pretty good luck, pretty successful with this vehicle. I'm surprised because every time I tell someone I got out, they're like, well, why did you get that? Why did you get that? But I've actually had pretty good luck with it. I say that, and the only issue I had was a transmission issue. I know, it's the only issue. Yeah, it was pretty big, but it could have been worse. So we're about to head out, and we'll discuss the transmission issue later. So yeah, with the transmission. So when I bought the vehicle, like I said, I drove from Colorado back to Atlanta, Georgia. It was about, I don't know how many miles it was, but it took 3 days to get there, and it drove perfectly fine. So I said, hey, I'm gonna take a trip up the East Coast, drive up to Maine and back from Georgia. Should be fun, should have a good time, cool. Get on the trip, driving up there, went up there perfectly fine. When I was coming back though, I was around like New York, New Jersey, and the car went into limp mode. It wouldn't go over like 30 miles an hour, and it said take your car to the workshop immediately. So I was like, oh, okay. Well then. Well then. So I was able to limp it to an Audi dealership in New Jersey. They did a diagnostic on it. Well, actually, they took it for a test drive, right? They took it for a test drive. It came back on the flatbed. I was like, well, that's not good. That's not good. So anyway, they did a diagnostic on it. And keep in mind, for Audis, or I guess any European luxury cars, whatever, they charge you for the diagnostic. It's not free. It was $250 for the diagnostic. Sorry for all the shaking. We're driving, obviously. Anyway, diagnostic said that I essentially needed a new transmission. And I was like, ooh, well, we're not going to do that today, but just for the heck of it, how much is a new transmission? They gave me a quote for $13,000, folks. $13,000. Keep in mind, remember what I told you what I paid for. So the transmission is more than what I paid for the vehicle. So I said, okay, yeah, we're not going to do that. They said, well, we would recommend driving it back home. Well, you may not recommend it, but that's what we're going to do. So I told myself I'm going to drive it as far as I can, and then wherever it stops, that's where it stops. I'll get a tow truck, car transporter, whatever, bring it back to Georgia. Got to Georgia just fine. No issues whatsoever. Well, that was awkward. So I had my phone charger plugged into the phone as I was recording, and I went to make a turn, and the cord got wrapped around my paddle shifters, which essentially locked my steering wheel, and I was headed straight towards the curb. So I had to like slam on brakes to keep from hitting anything else today. Yeah, that was awkward. Anyway, I forgot where I was at. So drove home just fine, no issues whatsoever. Fast forward a couple months, went back into limp mode, same issue. But the thing about it was, I could drive it. Hold on, we getting it. We're getting it till this truck pulled out in front of me. Now I'm way behind everybody. Anyway, the car kept continuing to go into limp mode. So eventually, I was driving one day and the car just stopped and it wouldn't do anything ever again. So I had to get it towed to a shop. Transmission, reprogram. Money came out of my pocket, but it wasn't too bad actually. So transmission issues. So I'm about to show y'all the coolest car out here. I mean, with the exception of that one right there. Obviously, that's the best one. But this is the coolest one out here. Check this out. It's the Ferrari. Look at this. This is pretty dope. I think it's a Toyota MX-2. But, oh, they got the low Ferrari. Make sure you follow them. I'm about to follow them, see what's up. The low Ferrari. That's pretty cool. I was behind them. They were getting it too. They were getting it. So this GT wants to race me eventually. It's trying too early, but I couldn't catch up to it. It was pretty good though. Black on black, 5.0, with the LED lights in the grill. I actually like that. Pretty dope. See if we can beat them. I'll let you know how that turns out. So the styling of the S5 looks pretty slick in my opinion. Obviously I'm biased because I have one. So this particular model came in an A5, S5, and an RS5. Levels progressing like how I just set them. So this is like mid-grade. Got enough power, not like the RS5 where you can just go crazy with it, but looks pretty dope. So the S5 came in a 3-liter turbocharged engine, quad exhaust, So it's supposed to make 330 horsepower stock. Got a stage 1 tune on it, so hopefully we're pushing a little bit more. I haven't dynoed it yet, but if you were to get one, expect pretty decent power. So while we're stopped getting gas, we just had some lunch. Let's talk about actual operating costs. So you may be able to afford to buy the car, but can you afford to actually own the car? Let's talk about it. So oil change, expect to pay at least $100, sometimes 120, depending on where you go. You're supposed to get an oil change. It's the manual, I think it says like 5,000 miles. I do every 3,000 miles. So depending on how much you drive, that will determine how many oil changes you need to get. Tires, let's talk about tires. This one takes 255, I forgot what it is. Anyway, they're 19-inch wheels. You can get some pretty decent tires for like 180 a piece. So figure that in, 180 times 4, whatever that is, 720 bucks. Mount and balance usually charge like 100 bucks to mount them. There you go, 860 bucks. Tires. Coolant is actually kind of expensive for this vehicle. I found that out last night when I bought a quart. A quart was 18 bucks. Yeah, 18 bucks. So yeah. And my vehicle, I don't know if it's for all S5s, but whenever I'm driving it pretty hard, pushing it, it likes to drink a little bit of oil, kind of burn a little bit. Oil, you got to get full synthetic, obviously, and they run like $8 a quart. So there you go. So that's like your typical maintenance. Obviously, if you have repairs needed, they're going to be expensive. Like I talked about the transmission, I got a deal, and my deal was I think like 1,100 bucks. But the deal, like I told you, quoted me some insane amount, $12,000–$13,000. All right, guys, I know I've been talking all day about driving and paying pit stops, but let me tell you where we actually are. We're finally here. We're at the Tail of Dragons. For those of you who don't know, it's kind of on the border of North Carolina and Tennessee. It's a road that goes in between the two states, up the mountain, 313 curves in a course of 11 miles. It's crazy. I mean, I'm talking about hairpin curves. I'm talking about curves where the speed limit is 15, and we're going just a slight bit above 15, just a tad bit. So, with that being said, let's talk about the handling. Let's talk about the handling of the S5. And yeah, it's pretty subpar. I mean, I was slipping and sliding everywhere. Granted, it's fall and there's leaves everywhere, but I was nervous. Trying to tell you, I was nervous. Like I said, I was sliding, and then my brakes. So I got ceramic brakes. Don't do it, folks. Do not do the ceramic brakes. I got them because it reduces the brake dust. However, it also reduces your stopping power. And I wish I had something other than ceramics. But we made it to the top. And if you decide to get an S5, A5, the RS5 might be a little bit different. With the handling, but those two expect to be sliding and gripping the seat a little tight. Most important thing I can tell you to expect when you have an Audi S5 or A5 or RS5, whichever one you're fortunate enough to get, is to expect to have a lot of fun with it. Expect to drive fast, expect to be able to customize it however you want, do all kinds of mods. I mean, the stuff that you can do to it is pretty much endless. This one right here obviously has a wrap. You got a stage 1 tune on it. You hear the pops and bangs in the background. Hey, it's fun. So if you get one of these, like I said, make sure you have fun with it. That's the main goal. Whenever you have a car, especially if you are a car person, if you're into vehicles, have fun with it. All right, folks, I appreciate you watching this video. Stay tuned to the next one, and also make sure you check out our website. It's been revamped, redone. So if you're in the market for new, used, whatever type of vehicle, or if you're trying to sell a vehicle, make sure you check out our website, 42degreesautolifestyle.com. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and also follow us on Instagram. Hopefully I can take you out with a 40 run with one of my friends up here. So appreciate you guys. See you next time.